Hey, what's up everybody? It's Siwo here, coming back to you with another video. A few questions I've got recently was about tone, was about sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 pointers on how to get the perfect tone. Number 1, you want to have an idea of what you're trying to go for. I think number 1 would be emulation. I don't think there's a guitar player that's the wrong guitar player to emulate. My tone, I try to emulate from Lapot and El Pozo sound. Sometimes, depending on what I'm playing, maybe Wobeto, T-Vice. There's some tones that are richer. There's some tones that are a little bit twangier. It might depend on what guitar you want to go through. I know El Pozo now, he uses this Telecaster. Before, he used to use a Stratocaster. I believe he used to use a Squire when he was in Zenglen. People like Wilson, Elie Lapointe, he was using a really super rich tone from a Les Paul. That's not something that you'll see quite frequently in Haitian music, but that's his tone. And whatever tone you relate to, a lot of people, they use the Steinberg or the headless guitars. They like that tone, and it's kind of a tone that's been developed over years from Sweet Mickey to T-Vice and other bands. So you can't go wrong with whatever tone that you're looking for. Just figure out what tone you want to get to, what tone you most relate to, and just rock with it. Like I said, I wanted more of the El Pozo sound from the mid 2000s and Lapot sound. So I use more of Stratocasters in my playing style, but whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. Now, second thing is your pedal board. Now, I will do another video going over my pedal board chain, which is a pretty big pedal board chain, but most of the time I'm using a multi-effects. I use the ME80, but I would say start on analog boxes and really find your tone, really find what you're trying to emulate, and just play around with it until you get to it. Sometimes you'll have to go and get some pointers from the actual guitar players. Go watch them play and see how they have their pedals set up. That's one thing that I did growing up. I watched Sanders and I looked at his pedal board set. I also looked at Pozo's pedal board set. I looked at Lapot's pedal board set. The person whose I emulated my tone 1000% after, as far as my chorus pedal, was Wobeto Martino. I don't even think that he knows that, but that's my guy. But I definitely emulated. For him, he uses the chorus ensemble rather than the super chorus that a lot of guys were using, like El Pozo, like other people. So that's number 2, developing your chorus sounds. Developing your delay sound is another important part as well. That just goes all the way into developing your pedal effects and doing that. So that's number 2. Number 3 is my number 1 thing, and it's going to be something that I continuously go over, is to listen. You can emulate whoever you want, you can do whatever you want, but sometimes you just have to use your ears and listen. You gotta hear what sounds good to you. You gotta hear what sounds good to the people. You gotta see what works with the people, which approaches to sound that make people dance more, which approaches to sound that really kind of throw people off and kind of just have them standing and watching. Sometimes standing and watching is not a bad thing, but you never know exactly what somebody's going for. So these are the things that you can do. Now, coming up soon, I will have a master series. I will go over all of these things in depth. Make sure that you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that any new updates you guys can get. I appreciate you guys and see you next time.